Hello everyone, we're in our weekly writers meeting. We're opening the week with Dr. Michael Laitman. Hello Rob. Hello everyone. We're also on live stream on Dr. Michael Laitman's Facebook page. You can follow, you can ask questions, you can like the page. We want to continue asking a bit more about this corona business. Everyone's gone back to routine. If you say to people corona, they say, what corona? It's in the past. Maybe let's ask like this about the crisis after the crisis, the mental crisis. The Statistic Institute presented a troubling statistic that a quarter of the population feeling anxiety, depression, isolation. These words are being repeated over and over again. This is how they're explaining their emotional state. Also, with kids, we're starting to hear these things. There's also a warning about the pandemic after the pandemic. So the question is, how can we deal with this scar, this mental issue that's remained in Israel and the whole world after Corona? It appears to me that it didn't remain, that it continues, actually. I'm not going along with the politicians and tycoons that want to go back as quickly as possible to their business. And they want to go back to their arguing in the Knesset, and they want to go back to making more billions. I'm looking at the population in general that's being pushed back to work, that apparently there's no way around it because everyone's in a state that could be worse if we left them at home. But everything has a price. So the fact that we're going back, there's going to be cases of people sick and deaths, etc. We always have to pay for everything. I don't think it's over. I suspect it will come back and many more times. Against flu, the amount of cases that we have a year where also people are sick and die, we're going to have to live with it, with this virus. There's many different variations of it, mutations, and there's a lot of question marks that we have no control over. So, to say that it's past and that we're in a post-corona stage, post-traumatic, I don't think so. Now, still, we need to go back, so we go back. But we need not think of that. We need to also think about how to arrange our lives so that you cannot take into account those people that are going back now to work, to school, or to studies, or treatment, whatever. It's a new population, the whole population in one go, and actually the whole world went through this trauma. It's not simple. You have to take this into account and not say that it's all over. It was in the past and that's it. And now we're going back to normal like before. No. But rather, we still need to verify at all levels what reaction to the kids, to home, to school, to connection between kids, connection between adults, the fact that we're going back to offices and how we're going back to the offices, not like before. We don't know if it'll come back. Excuse me. It's the problem. The connection between people. So, I don't know. I think that all these things still require research and treatment and gradual return. And what should we do with the people who don't find a workplace and occupation? And maybe they were independent and now they have nowhere to go back to because they don't have customers. From construction, well, special sectors, the highest levels. I don't think it passed, like you're saying. Pass means everyone somehow in their own place, and that's it. When we continue. It didn't pass. So I have no answer for this. We still haven't gotten past post-traumatic. We're still in it. Even though 20-30% of the social services and trade, they're not coming back. They're not coming back. They haven't come back and they won't return to function. We need to research what changed in the population. What changed after what we went through? How we relate to things. What do we want now? To work, to buy, to in the street and everywhere. We have to look at the new situation. We're not returning. What are your conclusions from the first wave? What did the people learn? I don't know. I'm not really connected to them, but I can feel them. It appears to me that people learn that something's happening there. And exactly what's happening, they don't know. And who can know? Because it didn't pass yet. In my eyes, it hasn't passed. Pass means according to external data, we can say now things are like they were a few months back. But that's not what's happening. So we're not returning. We're going into new situations. So this attitude that we've returned, it's wrong because it brings all kinds of problems with it. So from what you're saying, what you're describing, the mental issues will just increase. So what should we do? I don't know. Maybe we need to wait and research and see and do a survey and make room for research, but not that politicians and tycoons, that they want to get things back to normal as quickly as possible because they have their normal business that they want to take care of. I don't agree with this. Why do I have to work? Because they want me to. Why should my kids go to school as they're doing? Because they need us to. They don't really have an alternative. What are you suggesting? I don't know alternative. I just know that it should be with complete confidence. We talk to the people. We talk to humans. What do they exist for? To maintain what we have. And I'm not sure that's what's happening. I want to ask about the mental aspect. How can we maintain, at a time like this of uncertainty, economic and everything, what will calm people down? This we have to research. Also, I don't know. Everyone can describe something else for themselves where they'll feel calm and confident. sense of security, but at least not in a state of the unknown. If the state is unknown, then out of lack of choice, we do this and this. Why? Because we've had enough. That's not an answer. That's not an answer. The fact that people are running off to the beach and the park and doing all kinds of things because they can't sit in their apartment. I understand them. But the fact that the government and the Ministry of Health in it are pushing them to this as well, that's a problem. There's the issue of explaining that they don't want to operate, that it's dangerous, that it's difficult. I don't know, Judy. Now, on one hand, you're justifiably criticizing the first wave isn't over, and on the other hand, we don't really have a solution except research. What can we really recommend between the first and second wave? What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting, first of all, to gradually return to work people that are necessary on a national level. And the ones that aren't, no. That's it. The fact that they want to open hair salons and bakeries, various services, that's even 70 or 80% of all the businesses. And they will be empty. But in the meantime, I don't see an issue. Big factories, buildings, things like that, they can go back. Those are necessary things. There somehow you can maintain safety. I don't know what's happening with the kids. This virus can have all different mutations. It can harm the children. And that's already a completely different problem. It's unknown. On the one hand. On the other hand, they're saying in a few months, we'll already have a vaccine. So maybe we should wait for the vaccine with the kids. Maybe we should organize mothers and do something so they won't be in nursery schools, but in another form. I don't know. I'm not an expert. If you ask me, though, I wouldn't hurry to return. What to do with the feeling that everyone feels like they're necessary, even the smallest neighborly business. I feel like I'm contributing to someone. I'm giving something. You can't annul me. Okay, we're not saying don't go back, but look that it's not working. It's not working. All these small businesses, they won't work. People won't run abroad. They won't run to buy bags and schmatters. I don't think that. We need to check. As much as I understand, all these small businesses, you don't have tourism, which is a huge factor. Next, Shelley. Alongside this feeling that there's many cases of anxiety and pressure, there's a lot of people that are enjoying this, and they discovered that they want a slower life, more sane. There's movements, all kinds of movements that have come up because they want to escape anxiety and aggravation. Do you see it something positive that these people are looking for a more balanced life? They feel that they didn't choose this slavery of 8 hours a day. We want something more normal. What can we say to those people? Can we direct them somehow? We live in a society that altogether the demand of the people is what defines all the business. If I have what to sell and the people want it, then I open and I sell, and everything works out well, and no one can say anything to me, and I succeed. But if I don't have at the moment and not in the foreseeable future buyers, and my business is no longer a business, but it's really every day sucking out of me what I have left, if there's anything left. So what do? I go out to the street and scream that the country should save me. What can it save me from? You know how many businesses like that you have? Millions. There's no buying to these companies. There's no people that are interested in this. The question is, apart from the fact of consumption, also the way of life. There's a feeling that there's some change happening in people. There's lots of people that are now open to a change. They want a different kind of life. How not to miss this and really give them the right answer. Do you have something to tell them? Me personally, only the wisdom of Kabbalah. Okay, there you have it. You have it. Do you have a cake with icing that they'll want? Great, then serve it to them. What's the question? If it's enough what we're doing, people don't need. We can always do many more kinds and many more tastes to fit the demand. Sure, too. When I go into the bakery, there's 20 or 30 different types of things. All the different tastes. Right?
I need to check.
Because what I'm presenting to them looks good to me, and they need it. And I need to convince them that they need it to taste it. The owner went crazy and he gave it to them for free to taste, etc., etc. I have to try. We have another series of questions about anti-Semitism. Norma? Excuse me. I think that we need to pay more attention. Maybe Guy can help us with this. How can we divide the population? How can we divide all the companies and see the general agreement that these are necessary and these aren't necessary businesses? Clear that there's a lot of research and opinion. I would be really happy to recognize all this, to see what people, what exists, what people think will return, what for sure is dead and won't come back, etc. Because there's, it appears to me confusion that the population thinks things will go back to the way they were. And it never happens like this after such a blow, that people remain the way they were before. Something always changes. They don't even know what, but something changed in them. Can I answer? As you described, there's a new situation that humanity has never dealt with. Even the 2008 crisis, even the 29 crisis, the crisis came from the market itself. Therefore, all the businesses and the economy went back and even thrived more than before. Here, there's an external factor. Last week, they published a fact that the decision makers refuse to see it as a matter of force. Because if you do, then there's a whole problem with the insurance.
אקסוגני, חיצוני שנכנס למערכת ומשנה פה את כל הקלפים וגם אף אחד לא יכול לנבא אותו. עכשיו, כשאמרת אני מנסה לחשוב מה זה הגדרה של עסק.
I'm trying to think what the definition is of a necessary business. What is it?
לדוגמה בתקופת הסגר, עסקים של אוכל המשיכו לעבוד.
Things like food kept working. The business of messengers, people distributing stuff, people who were in high tech went to become messengers. The reality teaches us what's necessary and what's not. And so to check what's necessary and what's not, nobody ever dealt with it. We've always been taught to open another company, to grow, to increase productivity. I'll also say it's one of the things we want to verify with you in our research that we spoke about on Friday.
Norma.
There's a report. Now we see a peak of anti-Semitism cases in the U.S. There's over 2,000 cases. What can we expect in 2020? That same hatred that jumped toward China, now it will be transferred to the Jews. Why? Because that instead of hating Chinese and China, they will hate the Jews. Not that the Chinese are doing some that each and every person, it will turn around to the Jews. And we know the reason, it's in nature. It's deeper in nature than coronavirus or anything else. Coronavirus and all those things have a specific time that they exist, that they are active and influence people and everything. And then there's the fact that it's from some city in China and not some other place. But relating to Jews, it's the deepest thing in nature, from the point of creation to the purpose of creation throughout history, from beginning to end, from 0 to 100% of the reality. Reality is divided to Yashar Kel, Israel, and not Yashar Kel, and the others. So anti-Semitism for sure will go up. I don't know, but I suspect that the Chinese will get into that. They have power and the means, unlimited means. But it's how the Creator will organize it. I think we'll see. 2019, even though it was a special year for anti-Semitism, it passed in a way that there was confusion throughout the world. There wasn't a stream that it's definitely this way, but it appears to me that, like we had in the past, in the medieval days, these pandemics, they are bringing with them a wave, a huge wave of anti-Semitism that's coming like a tsunami that can really influence all the populations in all the countries. How will the anti-Semites justify it? Oh, that doesn't matter. There's 1,001 reasons. Let's start from the simple ones. Israel was almost not harmed. Look at the numbers here. Why? On the one hand, you can say the Jews knew about it. On the other hand, that they did some trick and didn't open it to the whole world, etc. There's a lot of brain and means for doing such things here. There's more anti-Semitism because of coronavirus, and clearly on social media and less physical. So does this mean that anti-Semitism changed in form? No, anti-Semitism itself didn't change. It's more in social media and less physical. In 2019, there were many physical. No, it's always going to be like this. You need to go out to some act. It has to burst out, erupt somehow. They go out and look for it. Who can we hit to release this inner hatred? It demands a victim. There will be many places and countries that will support it. The country that doesn't succeed with coronavirus, why shouldn't they take this attitude and say, yes, it's because of these Jews that are in all kinds of places. Let's get them out of the offices and everything will calm down. Apparently they did this. They prevented from us using this and that, and this is why we reached such a great number, like in Russia, huge number of deaths, etc. Why not? If it wasn't for Putin, he's the only one. He's not an anti-Semite because the Jews helped him when he was little and he remembers it. And also by nature, some of them are more Jewish than Jewish. But if it wasn't for him, there would be crazy pogroms like 100, 200 years ago against the Jews. I have another question about this. There's an academic document of the Federal Bank of New York. They say that the Spanish influenza influenced the German society in a deep way for a long period, socially and economically, and it helped the Nazi regime rise to power in the elections of 32-33. So the question is, can there be a similar situation after the crisis of Corona? Maybe not now, but maybe over time. I think yes. Of course, it's not for our good. Coronavirus isn't for our good. It's for the Jews sitting in all kinds of places foreign places and not for the good of the country of Israel. It can be good for us if it's possible to say that from this we'll receive the ability to explain what this is, what it does, how we truly need to protect ourselves, and the role of the Jews. But that's only for us, the people dealing with the wisdom of Kabbalah, the wisdom of correction. But for everyone else, it's bad. It's also good for all kinds of Jewish organizations in the U.S. because they raise more money. From an egoistic perspective, it's good for every organization. They can go out to the Jews and ask them for more and more support for their activities. And we know what they do. To travel from place to place, do these conferences, and that's it. According to this research, the blow will come from the extreme right all over the world. Do you see the same picture? Yes, of course. So I'm very afraid that Trump is really in danger of coming out of power, and after that there will be great changes. If someone like Obama comes instead of him, it'll be much worse than when Obama was in power. Because Obama used to do all these things in a closed, quiet way. But now it would really be out in the open, because the Congress would be behind him, the Democratic Party would be behind him. So everything would be different. And also the external world, all of Europe, I'm not talking about the rest of the world. Europe would really support it. The whole world has become far more right. Far more right. The coronavirus put the whole world into a certain extreme. We're talking about China and everything you described here with the virus. Roy Taub sent 4 items while we're speaking that I think we can see something happening. First of all, the ambassador of China is in Israel, was found in Israel dead today in his apartment in Herzliya. The Chinese ambassador. China is answering Mike Pompeo that the Jewish friends will kill the virus, or the war between the U.S. and China. They're demanding that Israel choose a side, and they're trying to chill the relations between Israel and China. Israel's all of a sudden in between the U.S. and China. It doesn't look good. What's happening? It's a game from above. You're looking at Israel like a regular country. It has suddenly great importance among the countries that has nothing to do with this real situation. We're not a superpower. We're nothing. On the one hand. On the other hand, suddenly they're talking about us like we're a superpower. We are a superpower, internal, spiritual, but in the eyes of humanity, we're a very significant power, not like France or Germany or something. Much more. Much more. We are the force that determines things. That's the problem. This word is very important here. It's not according to quantity or money or military power or anything. We have something that what we decide, what we do, our movement, our direction, our change, it influences the whole world. Why? That's just like that. Just like that. What do we do? It appears that the relations between China and America are so bad that no matter what side Israel chooses, the other side will take it against us. This has always been like this throughout history. We'll take revenge on us, sorry. How should Israel operate in a situation like this? Only to scream to God above. I'm serious. What should we scream? Help. We want to connect. We want to carry out the method of connection, because the method of connection will cause the whole world, including China and America, it will cause us to all connect properly. Through this, we will create the right connection. The right connection between everyone. That peace on us and all of Israel and everyone, we can bring it if between us we are getting along. And if not, then as usual, everyone will get up to hit the Jews. And the Jews are in a state that is so far from one another. They're beating us up. You hit those Jews, the other Jews are happy. That's how it is. So we need to scream to the Father in the sky about us, or for us to connect, or for the world to connect. We need to connect, and then the world will connect after us. So what do we need to do right now in the current state? You've been explaining the role of Israel, that we need to connect. This is an external dissemination. We need to explain to all the countries and governments, all the nations, the role of Israel. Like Kabbalist explained it at the end of the introduction to the book of Zohar, and we need to explain it nicely so that they'll understand why they hate us and what we need to do to bring the whole world to the good state. Without Corona and all those things, really in connection with the general nature, that this is the nicest state for everyone. This is what we need to do. This is external dissemination. Norma, Chaim, I don't know who else need to carry out. And apart from that, we need to do internal dissemination to the people of Israel, in the land of Israel, and to Jews in the countries of the world, that they will also know what depends on them, and that they themselves determine things, and that truly the whole world will turn to the Jews. I'm not surprised. It's not something new. And the whole world will be right to instinctively that the Jews are to blame. And we need to recognize this, that the Jews are to blame. And that now we need to do the same thing that we haven't done throughout history, but now we know precisely what we do. There's an organization that knows how to carry this out and explain to other people. We need to connect. Today we can truly reach a state that is worse than the Holocaust. Worse than the Holocaust. If Hitler had a park full of airplanes like we have throughout the world now, he would have taken all the planes. He wasn't short of gas. He would have brought the Jews from the whole world to some godforsaken place. Who cares where? Madagascar, Africa, or anywhere, Indonesia, who cares? And they could sit there until they die. We don't even need to kill them like we did in concentration camp. I'll tell you that no one will be against it today in the nations of the world. Again, we're seeing Jews are controlling things, and again, they're tycoons. And they are the ones causing trouble between America and China. They are the point of conflict. And the Creator will turn it around. That will be right in the middle of it. Right in the middle. And nobody will be able to ask what's happening. But it will be in the middle. In the middle of the conflict. So the U.S. and China and everyone, it's best for them that we disappear from the world. You're talking about the Jews of the world. What about Israel? What's strong Israel? What are you talking about? Does anyone here think that we're strong? What are you talking about? According to the European market and China, they close off the trade or all the financial channels, and from today to tomorrow you don't exist. What are you talking about? What's strong? What are we strong? What do we have? Now they finish all the trade, but that's it. They don't need anything from you. What did we do? They'll say nothing. We just don't want to be in touch with them. And that's it. No ship, no plane goes out of here, comes in here. And what will be here? Coronavirus. Our economist is writing that 45% of our produce is export. And it won't go anywhere because nobody needs it. That's what the Europeans are saying, that if you start joining all those settlements that you want over the Green Line, then we're going to finish you off. If we disappear, who will be to blame? A question from the internet. If we disappear, who will be blamed? Who will they give a medal to? They'll give somebody a prize for getting rid of us. Is somebody to blame? The issue is that the Jews were to blame for everything. So whoever will get rid of them, whoever will wipe them off the face of the earth, should be praised. There's another question from the internet. Why, if the world is going toward the right, then Trump is in danger? I don't think Trump is holding the right. Trump is holding the religious. Chabad? The evangelists. Yes, the evangelists. That's where the pressure is coming, Pompeo and all those. That's where the pressure is coming from. They're the ones managing the world, but they're also becoming weaker, the evangelists. They're also slowly leaving Israel. It's not like it was before. They're also not as tight with their religion as before. We'll be left here one-on-one between us and the Creator. We can't make calculations with all these people. We can write, and we have to do this, and we have to explain. But our history has already reached its epilogue. The end. Yes, the end. The question is like this. Question from the internet. I think it's the first time they're hearing these tough things you're saying about Jews and Israel. Where's the point of light in everything that you're talking about? Again, Dudi. There are new people that are hearing this for the first time. They're hearing what you're saying about the role of Israel and what can happen. Apparently, they didn't hear what Bala Tzulam wrote, so it's good for them to know. And what do we have to hide? We weren't in the same situation 80 years ago. Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? I don't see it. I see that going today in certain streets in the U.S. It's like walking down the road in Berlin 80 years ago. Except that they're just not walking with a yellow star on their clothes. That is the same attitude. We're getting close to Shavuot, which is the giving of the Torah. All this thing of reception of the Torah, did we receive it or not? How is this relevant in our time and to the state that we're in right now? We're celebrating holidays according to our tradition, that for our life, corporal life, they're not really connected with these holidays. But it's written that it has to fall on such and such days every year. But we must use these holidays to reach the internal essence, spiritual essence of the force of the holiday. The force of the holiday is Matan Torah, called I created evil inclination, I created Torah as a light to redeem it to its ideal state, meaning a vessel, the means, the instrument for correction of the evil inclination. This is the Torah, the light. We need it. We need to celebrate that we have such a thing. We need to use it and correct our evil inclination. That is the reason for all the bad in reality. Torah is the light of bestowal, the general force in nature through which we can correct all the evil in the world. How? Very simply, because love thy neighbor as yourself is a great role in the Torah. Meaning this force in the Torah, when it reaches us, it brings us love. Love thy neighbor as yourself. And as yourself means every person in the world. To be like this, the light unto the nations, etc. So we must celebrate this holiday of Shavuot that will remember what we need, what gift we have from above. And how much we need to use this. So we don't care about Corona, we don't care about the conflict between China and America, we don't care about the anti-Semites coming out of every corner. We only care about one thing: how we connect between us, the Jews, above the hate, to bring us to love. And from this love, also to open rivers of love from all the nations and all of reality. The whole world demands connection until this participation that's called love. And if we begin to carry it out, we'll see how much they immediately change their attitude toward us. There's no place for viruses and hate or anything. There's just one reason for all the bad in the world, and that is hate between the Jews. And the tikkun has to start from them. That's what Baal Sulam writes at the end of the introduction to the Book of Zohar. Therefore, we need to look at everything happening in the world and see it, that it's to awaken us. And the hate that we feel from all the nations of the world is the Creator awakening us through the nations to awaken us to our role that only we can carry out. Shelley, you're done, right? Before Shavuot, that will be happening next Thursday, on the 21st of May, we have Jerusalem Day. I wanted to ask, what is the significance of a city celebrating in a global world? Jerusalem is a special spiritual place where we reach through the ladder of steps, that it really symbolizes a great correction of the place where we build a choma, a wall, protection, or according to what we say in Kabbalah, a screen. And in that, we bring our vessel, connection called Beit HaMikdash, the temple, a home of holiness, that on the one hand is Malchut, that's connected to Kedusha Binah, and the whole form of this connection between Malchut and Binah gives us the form of the temple, the third whole temple, complete temple. So we celebrate these things. Of course, they have no corporeal form. As it's written, the third temple comes from the sky, meaning it comes down to the heart of each and every person, and our general heart, that includes all the hearts, from above, meaning from the force of the general force of bestowal, which is the Creator. So the day of Jerusalem is a day where we celebrate our yearning to build Jerusalem, where we hope to reveal in this desire that's called the complete city, a home of holiness, the vessel of Malchut filled with forces of bestowal. Shelley, they tell us that when Rabbi Akiva saw that it was destroyed, he left because he said it's a symbol for Geula, for redemption. If he was here and he saw the whole situation with Corona and all the changes that are happening here, what do you think he would say? He would say there's nothing to wait for, but we must connect. There is nothing else we can do. Intention, thought. There's no reason to wait for something except just to speed up the connection. This is what Rabbi Akiva screamed 2,000 years ago, and that's what he would scream if he was here with us now. Guy? I'm in no rush if you want a few more minutes. There's two opposite trends that I want to ask you about. On the one hand, there's an external trend, the crazy pace of things happening. We just heard about the Chinese ambassador and Israel being squeezed between two superpowers. If we had heard these things a year ago, we would think it was crazy. Today we accept it. Now the pace, what was relevant in the morning was no longer relevant in the evening. At the same time, when we look internally as society, we've become more divided. Everyone's in their own corner. We see completely opposite trends. Why is this happening? Because we're in the continuation of the destruction of the Second Temple. We're still in the continuation of the destruction. We've given permission to rise and build it. To build it means to build it ourselves. And we're not doing this. We're dealing with everything else. Corona's come not to speed us up to connection, but as if we're supposed to deal with some external bug. And this is how it is with each and everything. We don't want to be directed toward dealing with the source of the problem. So it looks like in the meantime, we are not learning our lesson from the... It looks like we're not awakening and the pressures from outside are increasing. So what in our message? I'm asking about dissemination. What is it in our message that can awaken this ignorance, sort of? People don't want to listen. It's the root of the problem that our ego is so great that it turns us around to each and everything except connection. And connection we're not capable of handling in any form. We already went through so much suffering, so many blows, torture, and even from that we didn't scream to the Creator, help, give us connection. Just the opposite. We came out of this blow, of this annihilation that happened 9 years ago in all the concentration camps. People came out of there that weren't religious, that didn't want to know. They weren't religious. They didn't want to know anything about the Creator, how there can be such a force if we suffered so much. And He's still called our God. This is the problem. I don't know what to do. I just get up every morning and continue my work, what I have to do. It's not simple. And you have to be very stubborn. And the ability to continue suffering more and more. It's difficult, but this is what we can do. The problem is that everyone that gets up by themselves. If we gathered our forces more, even Bnei Baruch, our weak forces, if we gathered them together in one direction, to one goal, in one blow, it's possible that we would scream to the Creator and we would change the fate of the world. Last question about this. What we're running into when we're writing are the complaints that we receive. Where you explain the situation and you say the solution is connection, I mean, people don't understand what we're talking about. If the nation would somehow know some basic things that are required of it in connection, even at the lowest level, do you think it would help open this stubbornness, or at least their ear toward our message? We need to carry out all the things to the extent that you see that they have some small hope of success. It's very simple. I'll tell you, at least every day as we exist, and we're handing out more and more material and we're explaining, this is a good addition to the tikkun. But truly, how to explain this, give this flow of explanation to Israel and the whole world, or maybe to the nations of the world to Israel, that it will be in this form as feedback. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not giving up. I'm not allowed to think in this direction. But we need to continue. I hope you're writing strong, well, good, that you're not giving up, that you understand that precisely you are the only people in the whole world that are writing things that are part of the tikkun, the goal of creation, and you are holding the line. You're screaming to humanity that this is the only correct direction. So we'll continue. Rabbi Laitman, thank you for strengthening us. Thank you to all the participants and the audience. We'll see you on Wednesday again with more questions. You're welcome to leave feedback and questions on Michael Laitman's official Facebook page. Thank you, everyone. Good luck with the help of God.